All right, Coach. Team is on here. Coach Collier from Georgia Tech volleyball. Team is on a 6-match winning streak, all in ACC play. Mm-hmm. Just overall impressions of this past month. Just what has the team done so well, just to be on this current winning streak?
Yeah, I mean, I think that we've been working not only this whole season, but even last year, and just kind of learning about the game, growing. Understanding not only the physical aspect of competition, but also the mental aspect of competition, how to get yourself ready, how to, what mindset you need to be in to compete and things like that. And I think that has been definitely, you can see the growth in that area. I think that we have kind of been able to be a little more consistent with how we're approaching practices, how we're working as a team, what is everybody's responsibilities, and we have been able to execute that with a lot of confidence and therefore with a lot of consistency, and so I think just becoming a more consistent team has helped for sure. I think that, but these are things that we have been working on for a very long time. Obviously, we're getting the results now of something that we built the foundation a long time ago. But it has always been one of the biggest things that I was always proud about this group, is that we were always ready to learn, always ready to find solutions, find different ways. And I think that the seniors and their leadership in the locker room and how Cody is performing and how she's leading this team from the inside out back into the court from inside the locker room, I think that all those things have gotten better, have gotten to a different level. And so it's a combination of a lot of factors, but obviously we're playing some great volleyball.
And just getting a sweep over Florida State and Miami, two programs that have been strong in your tenure here at the ACC.
Yeah.
Beating Florida State first time. Was that first time you beat them? First time you personally, yeah. And Miami's had some strong teams as well. What does that mean just to get wins over programs that have finished ahead of you in the past in the standings?
It definitely means a lot. I mean, it is a point where we have aspired to be with our program, is to do that consistently. This is definitely a step in the right direction to what we want to build and just kind of what we want to sustain. So it has been great to be able to face these teams and really perform well against them. They're traditionally very strong in our conference, very well coached. Obviously, lots of talent on that side. But also on our side, and for us to be able to beat them, not only to win the match, but I think that we played a very dominating performance against both of these teams, and so it's really exciting to see the level that we can play this game and the things that we're building. So it's fun.
And speaking of dominance defensively, you had some really strong performances, especially against Miami. You set some highs and team blocks, some individuals. We've talked about blocking before and the translation of what it means defensively, but what did it feel like to see those tangible block numbers at a high level leading to a victory?
For sure. I mean, I think we're just a little more mature about our game and what we can do defensively. I think that our players have understood the importance of our serve and how we can start our defensive game plan with our serving. I think that has been something that we have definitely done at a very high level in this past few matches. We're definitely able to attack our opponents from the service line with our defensive strategy and then execute on the next and third skills, which are blocking and then digging and then transitioning off those digs. So I mean, I think that the whole defensive game, obviously it starts with the serve, has gotten tremendously better. And I think that is a lot of times just a maturity component that your players have to go through to get themselves to understand the value and the importance of it. And we definitely understand that now, and I think that we're seeing our serve as an attacking strategy here and how we're starting to defend our opponent from the service line.
And then Mariana had a strong weekend, a double-double in one of the games. She also had a strong service. I think she had about 4 aces in one of the matches. Talk about her contributions and kind of tying into the serve and just her all-around play offensively and defensively.
Yeah, I mean, Mari is just a solid kid. She comes in, she always works hard. I think that we put her in a tough spot this year where we had to change her position. She had an injury in the beginning of the season, and there was a lot of new stuff that she had to overcome, and I think that she kept herself together. I think mentally on the things that she wanted to do. She was always staying after practice, getting some extra reps, watching some video to try to better herself in that position because she knew that that was what was best for the team. And I think that is of tremendous value. I think that she's playing very efficient. It's great to have her be, I think, a force on the right side, out of the back row, and then all the other stuff that she brings in, not only the energy, the great teammate that she is, her offensive numbers, but also what she's doing from the service line, what she does on defense. She always hustles, she sets the tone back there with our defenders, and like her blocking is getting better. These are all things that every day she's getting a little bit better in some things that she was struggling with in the beginning, and she's really committed to just being the best that she can. And so those are easy players to coach because you just got to kind of keep feeding the beast, and just let them continue to give them more and more because they kind of see they really want to be the best that they can. And so it's very easy to do that with her. Definitely a great teammate as well, and somebody that has definitely raised the standards in our gym.
I look at the numbers, and you have multiple players will get double-digit digs in a match. It's not just your libero. I'm talking about Maddie in a moment, but what is it like seeing players commit to that side? You see Julia, we mentioned Mariana and Michaela as well. These players that are outside, even play middle sometimes, committing to getting those digs. What's that like for you as a coach?
For sure. I mean, that's definitely the style of players that we like for that position. We like our outsides to be well-rounded. I think that when I played as a player, obviously you got a bunch of offensive records, but I think that defense was one of the biggest strengths is you were able to be well-rounded in all phases of the game. And so those players are hard to play against because you really, there is only very few weaknesses that they have. And they just bring a lot to the table. I think that it helps in volleyball when you create a consistency with the players that are in there. They learn how to communicate. They get a feel for each other. And so having players that can play multiple facets of the game and do different things, it helps that consistency. We're not having to plug in people here and there to do certain things. Is they can play the whole game very holistically. They can play offense and defense at a very high level. And I think that has been one of the big differentiators, I think, from our team. There are not very many teams in the country that have the luxury of having the players that I do have on both sides of the game. And they're only getting better. And so it's really exciting to be able to help them develop that. But it's how we train in our gym too. It's we want every player to be comfortable in every phase of the game. They got to be really comfortable with their fundamentals and really do some things at a very high level. With the game and just kind of be comfortable with the game in general. And I think that they're definitely responding to that training.
And then you have Maddie, or a sophomore libero, who is kind of I always look at the libero as a quarterback of the defense, but we talked earlier, she talked about her offensive contributions, but as far as helping the hitters knowing where to place the ball
for sure.
And things like that. So I just talk about her as far as running the defense, but then also helping your outsides and even middles do well offensively.
I mean, Maddie's another one that's always given 100%. She's focused on getting better for her teammates. I think that she has definitely, matured in her position, understand communication level, how to communicate with players, how to connect, how to take responsibility on some things. And I think that she's seeing the game at a higher level. I think that she's reading, responding better. The fact that she was talking about how she's helping her hitters, I mean, that's another level of just maturity within her position because communication is so crucial, I think, within that small space. And I think that when players are communicating in all phases of the game and they're helping, their teammates problem solve and see some things that they can have a better view and they're not looking up at the ball, they're looking at the defense. Those are all things that can help their teammate execute and be better. I think that those are all things that are very rewarding to see and hear because we talk about that a lot in our gym. It's don't focus on yourself, focus on the person next to you, and by making them better, you get better. And I think that Maddie has always done that. She's a great teammate. She does work really hard for her to get better, and she's also works hard to make people around there comfortable and make them perform at a high level. And so I think that she has played very consistent this past couple matches. I mean, from serve receive to serving, to defense and also her communication. Those are all things that you can see, like our young players, it's fun to see when they start to understand just the value of those small little things that people take for granted a lot of times with communication, energy, body language. We all think that we can just get away by jumping and hitting a ball. And so it's the more they understand those things, you can start to see them buying into those things more and more. And that's why, our level keeps getting higher and higher. Is our players are learning, they're understanding, they're buying in. And it's been fun to just kind of see the maturity throughout this past, last year to this year, and to even from match to match. I mean, we're getting better and better, and I think that our goal is to continue to push them and keep them moving forward. But it's always one of the most rewarding parts of coaching is when things start to click, and then stuff that they didn't do the day before, now they're like experts at it. All of a sudden. And so it's really fun to see all that. It's exciting. I'm excited for the team and everybody that's a part of it. And so our goal now is to stay grounded and keep pushing forward. There's still so much more that we can do and get better, and we got to take it one day at a time and keep getting better.
Two more things. You spoke about the evolution of just seeing the players develop.
Yeah.
100 wins with Georgia Tech with the program. What's that like for you? I know you're always focused on the next match, and we'll get to North Carolina in a second.
Yeah.
But do you take a time to at least look back over your tenure here and getting to 100 wins and kind of what that means for you?
Yeah, I mean, definitely very important. Tech is a place that I love to be. Volleyball is something that I love to do, and so I keep talking about it, is to do what I do, where I do it, with who I do it with. It couldn't get much better, and so I think that there's still a lot that I have to learn as a coach and get better on a daily basis, but I think that it is an important milestone in a coach's career. I appreciate it, celebrate it, but at the same time, I haven't played one point of any of those 100 wins. So I always talk about that, and it all goes back to our players and our former players and the staff surrounding this program. Obviously, it's coming up on my win and loss column, but they all have a huge impact on the things that we're doing and what we're building, and I'm super grateful to be able to have great people around me. I couldn't do that if it wasn't for my assistant coaches, current and past assistant coaches, current and past players, staff, administration, all of that. It's a combination of all those things together, and it's definitely a team number. It's not on me. It's on Georgia Tech volleyball and the things that we're doing, and so it's been fun to just be a part of it.
And now you have North Carolina. You can finally head on the road. You've been here for a little bit here in Atlanta.
Yeah.
You face North Carolina, another team similar to Florida State, high block percentage,
Yes.
high block numbers. So I'm assuming they have a lot of length and height up front. What do you see from them, and what will you have to do well to come out with a win?
Very well-balanced team. I mean, physical team, it has always been. They play a 6-2, so like you said, just similar to Florida State. But they're playing really well. They're a young team. They have played with some different lineups. I think that they're kind of in a similar point of the season as we are, where they're playing really well. They're meshing well together. They're playing with some confidence. They've won some good matches as of lately. And I think it's going to be a big challenge for us. I mean, I think that being on the road against such a high-level team, it's going to be kind of the next step here on the things that we want to keep doing and getting better. And so it's exciting. We're ready for the opportunity. We'll be ready to give them our best and also expect their best. I mean, I think that it's going to be a battle out there Friday night, and may the best man win.